lot better with the technological.
We are. We got the Bluetooth this time.
We're doing good.
We're doing good now, people.
I wonder how well this works. I see rappers do it all the time. Hello?
What?
Put the hood on underneath the headphones. Alright, episode 3.
Episode 3. This is episode 003, Spiritual Debt Snowball.
This is the Spiritual Tea Podcast.
Yeah,
I gotta do that.
I gotta do that. Yeah, I gotta do that.
Oh, I didn't know where we were going with. I don't remember how we started up last time.
Okay. Welcome to Spiritual Tea Podcast. Spirituality is a shared global language, and each. Wow, that says we.
Yeah. Each we spill, Allison.
Cut. Take 2. Cut and take 2. Welcome to Spiritual Tea Podcast. Spirituality is a shared global language, and each week we spill all the tea on spiritual current affairs and investments all over a cup of tea. I am your host, Alicia, with my son and co-host, Jamie.
Woo! Applause track.
Okay.
I went to the red. They got to the red.
Yes.
Applause track. There we go.
This week, let's talk about DC Comics and the spiritual debt snowball method. So, let's grab our cup of tea and start our weekly chat.
Cheers.
Bye. Okay, my spiritual tea friends, I have my cup of tea.
Tea talk.
We about to do the tea talk. So, I want to know, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking Earl Grey tea.
Earl Grey tea. Huh?
Queen.
Air quotes. I'm drinking Earl Grey tea. Air quotes.
Yeah, nice Earl Grey. Very warm Earl Grey.
It gets you warm and fuzzy?
It does.
Okay.
The spiritual Earl Grey.
Okay. Well, I'm drinking chai.
Oh, you went
chai.
chai.
Yes.
That could have gone good with some of my spiritual juice.
And on my little chai tea tag here, tea bag tag, it says, travel light, live light, spread the light, be the light.
Wow, that's, what's mine?
That went into the red.
Yeah. Mine just says Tazo. Oh, right.
So, we're here in our studios today. This is our actual studio/office. So if you see, if you're watching our unedited, allegedly unedited, slightly edited version, if you're watching us,
video podcast.
If you're watching us, you will see in the background our command center for all of our websites and ventures, and we have the ministry AFG, a Faithful God Ministry. We also have Spiritual Tea Podcast. We also have my stuff, my public relations stuff. So this is our command center in the back. If you're watching, if you're not, you can just visualize it.
Yep. Just think of what a good command center looks like. The best of the best.
Okay, so let's get to our current news. But before we start, I wanted to do a follow-up on our last week's episode about Tom Brady practicing witchcraft, but in a good way, allegedly. I got my air quotes going. Allegedly.
With the good witch.
With the good witch, his wife. So according to CNBC News, The New England Patriots owner, Robert Kraft, is being accused of being videotaped receiving sexual services at a Florida shopping center massage parlor called the Orchards of Asia Day Spa. Happy endings there.
Oh, yeah.
I do for you.
Yep. 77 years old.
Yes. The 77-year-old billionaire, who is worth around $6 billion, let that marinate right there, $6 billion, is among more than 24 people accused in a police sting as part of a human trafficking probe, according to authorities. The Juniper police chief, Daniel Kerr, said he was shocked to learn that Kraft, who is worth, again, $6 billion, was paying for sex inside a shopping center massage parlor. Right? He said, this is his quote, he's quoted saying, "We are as equally stunned as everyone else." Now, if Tom Brady's been winning with his so-called ritual that could be on borderline witchcraft or spirituality of some form, do you think his boss should also do the same? Maybe it would have kept him out of trouble.
Protect him from soliciting prostitution. I don't think witchcraft could protect him from that.
So, I'm not for sure, like...
He has a 39-year-old wife.
No, girlfriend.
Oh, this is his girlfriend.
It's
His wife passed.
His wife passed.
Now he's dating. Yeah, he's dating a 39-year-old actress.
He's dating a 39-year-old actress. I mean, I can't judge.
Ricky Noel Lander.
That's the actress.
Yeah.
Is she a model? Oh, she's an actress. You said. What is she played in?
Oh, I don't know.
Like, we're about to fact check her and see what she played in. Ricky Noel Lander. I don't know. As soon as you pull her up, it's just pictures of her and Mr. Robert Kraft together.
Oh, she was in CSI. She was appeared in CSI, The Class, Ugly Betty, Dirt, and Prison Break. True Blood, Unforgettable, Blue Bloods. She was a flight attendant in Iron Man. So it's like a lot of low-key roles. Well, she was an Ant-Man too.
Oh, that's her most recent was Ant-Man. But
2015.
she is pretty much... We can't say that her career is blossoming and blooming.
In filmography.
In filmography.
It might be more that she's like more of a model or something. She's spent several years under contract with Ford models.
Oh, she's a Ford model.
Yeah.
So
that's what Kraft is about.
Well, obviously.
That and prostitution.
Yeah.
It's important to note that he's denying these charges, and they have video of him.
They have video. They have actual video surveillance.
How do you deny that?
Actual
that's not me.
Video surveillance, and he's on video more than once on different occasions, but he is flat out denying it. If he's charged, he has to do I think it was 100 hours of community service and take a class about
the harmful acts of prostitution and human trafficking or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. But I mean, how do you... What's your excuse for that? Like, how do you deny that? If they have a video, do you say, that's not me? Or do you say, oh, that was just consensual, I just decided to pay her a tip?
You're out of Florida. Let's think about this here. You're worth $6 million.
This is at a shopping center.
And you're at a shopping center. You're not like at an underground situation where you're pulling up in an unmarked car type of situation. You're like at a shopping center. A shopping center meaning that there's other stores, there's other consumers, regular average consumers walking around, driving around, going by. and obviously a big enough parking lot for the police to actually do video surveillance of the location. So obviously
it was a 6-month like sting that they had going on.
So obviously the day spa, allegedly the parlor, the day spa, allegedly the day spa was already under surveillance. I mean, I personally have always said that you can always kind of tell when the alleged massage parlors are the unauthorized massage parlor, air quotes, because
they engage in a little bit of illegal activity.
Right, because it doesn't look welcoming. Like, it's not like I would pass by there and say, hey, I think I'm gonna go pay $25 to get, this crick out my neck, or to get my back massage, or get a deep massage, or those type of places, you can generally tell if those are non-existent in that type of alleged day spa, especially if they have all the windows covered. That's how I know.
Oh, okay. Did they have all the windows covered in there?
I don't know. I don't even know. I mean, we should Google it. What does? I mean, they're probably shut down right about now. I mean, but
Do you remember what it's called? Orchard.
It's called Orchards of Asia. Day spa. That sounds very international and very exotic.
It kind of look like you
What's a table shower? I never heard of a table.
You just sit on the table and they shower you?
I envision it to be like, you probably don't know this because it's kind of old school, but like flash dance, like she's in the chair and she pulls the
Oh my God, I know what you're talking about. How's that have to do anything with a table though?
Because the water comes down. The water comes down. Oh, they have a danger sticker on their door.
This might be afterwards though.
It is. Oh, if you notice the windows, again, we're looking this up on Google. If you notice the windows are covered up. They have blackout curtains all on the windows.
I don't know.
She was arrested and on 29 counts of prostitution and related charges. So
I think you could figure it out. I don't think he's gonna be owner of the Patriots anymore.
Oh yeah, because he'll face he's gonna face some type of something with the NFL, which is unfortunate.
How often do you think you see owners kind of getting in trouble? I don't know. I haven't watched football. I haven't been watching football for too long, so this is the first time I've seen like an owner get in some real type of dicey situation.
I think for me, I don't really pay attention to sports all like that, but I think for me, it seems like this one, like owners get in trouble. Yeah. Like, I mean, they're just human.
Yeah.
Even though you can be a millionaire, billionaire, or just an average person, you just a normal human being sometimes just falls into some type of, they just fall into life sometimes and get caught up in situations. Mm-hmm. But with this one in particular, I think it kind of just stuns everybody because for one, you're a billionaire at this point, and you're actually going to a shopping center and actually paying for sexual services, whatever that may be. But I mean, as being worth $6 billion, I would think that you would be able to have a hotline.
Yeah.
To be a little bit more discreet about your preferences there.
There was a Patriots fan that said, Patriots fan named Brian Rubino said that Robert Kraft is a 77-year-old man and lost his wife. Who knows? I see how you can end up in a place like this.
Let me just tell you this. If I pass away and my husband goes down the street to the alleged massage parlor because I done passed away. It's a problem.
He was grieving.
It's a problem.
Robert Kraft. That's why he's denying the charges. It was grieving. He wasn't thinking.
If you gonna take it down there before taking it to God to get you through that grieving process, and you gonna go down there and pay for some services, some happy ending services, it's a problem. It's a problem. Like how much did you really value our marriage there?
Yeah, no. But then it also talks about in this article how Robert Kraft and the Patriots were involved in the other two scandals in the NFL. The first one in 2007, where they were filming other teams' signals. I think that was the year that they were undefeated. And they were fined $250,000. And then again in 2014, when Tom Brady was accused of deflating the game's footballs during Deflategate, and they were fined $1 million for that one. So I don't know. I mean, Robert Kraft wasn't implicated in either scandal, but I don't know.
I mean, but you're the owner.
I think you're kind of a part of it.
Right, you're the owner. It's your team at the end of the day. You're the owner. What I will say is, with situations like this and with someone that is well known and allegedly well respected, just as a billionaire, a owner of a National Football League team, and that's just well known like that, I will say that I do feel sorry for the actual women that were arrested and were a part of this as well. So I
pray for them.
I pray for them, because a lot of times when it's somebody as well known as this, the empathy of it all gets lost for the actual victims in this. So I do pray for them, not so much for Robert Kraft, because at the end of the day, you're a grown man, and you got lots and lots of money.
77 years.
Right. You got lots and lots of money, and you knew what you were doing on numerous occasions, allegedly. So, and then on the top of that, you don't want to be accountable for your actions. So, I don't feel sorry for them, none whatsoever, but I do pray for the women that were actually involved in this.
The Patriots era is falling apart.
Well, I think it's about time.
Yeah, well, definitely, but I don't think it's all fall apart.
I think it's just karma. Because I honestly think it's just it was witchcraft. Yeah. What we spoke about last week, I think, once you think about it and let it marinate, it was witchcraft, and I think it's just karma. It comes back. I mean, there's no such thing as good witchcraft.
Right.
There's just no such thing. Witchcraft is witchcraft. There's no bad and there's no good. There's no bad witch and there's no good witch. I'm sorry. There just isn't. So.
Yep.
Now, if you want to say there's different forms of...
What if this witchcraft leads to, like, you know how, like, teams get, like, a big curse where they don't win for, like, years? What if that witchcraft leads to, like, a huge curse for the Patriots? That's crazy.
I wonder if it's ever been reported where Tom Brady has said in interviews that his wife was a witch, he called him and his wife referred to her as a good witch. I wonder if he said it in other interviews out loud.
Yeah, I wonder.
Or was this the first time?
Toward the end of his career, and now he's just saying it now.
Because it could be that. It could be that once he says it out loud, like, you've just put that curse in.
You put that to the universe.
Right, you put it to the universe. You didn't just keep it to yourself as it being a ritual between you and your wife or you and your family. You kind of made it publicly known that you consider, and she considers herself as well, a good witch.
Yep.
And everything that they practice. So I would love to hear your feedback and comments on that. What do you think about that? Do you think that by him announcing his ritual, allegedly witchcraft of his wife, following her rituals of the good witch, allegedly, air quotes, do you think that's the beginning of a curse? Because he said it out loud and put it out there.
Patriots dynasty.
I mean, that's pretty big. I mean, I would understand if it was like a fellow teammate member that got busted.
Yeah, that would make sense. But once the owner, it's kind of like, oh, okay. That's the top of the top right there.
So we would love to hear your comments on that.
If you're a Patriots fan, please let us know how you feel about Tom Brady and his good witch and witchcraft, and how you feel about you guys as owner soliciting prostitution. You defend him like Brian Rubino. Would you defend him? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I'm not drafting Tom Brady in my fantasy league next year.
Hey,
I'm not gonna lie, I'll think about it. When the draft comes, I might have to think about it.
I think I drafted what was his name?
Deshaun Watson. Oh,
no.
First year, or?
No, this year I drafted. This past season I drafted. What's his name?
Big Ben?
I could not stand him.
Ben Roethlisberger.
No, on the Patriots. He
was
the
Rob
tight end.
Gronkowski. Yeah, Rob Gronkowski.
I'm so sorry.
It was a very bad year for Rob.
I am not a fan.
Come on, Rob.
I am not a fan.
Top tight end.
He needs to stick to the Tide commercial or whatever commercial he was in. I was not a fan.
Yeah. So.
He definitely won't be getting drafted by me next year.
Yeah. What about Tom Brady? Think about it.
I didn't draft Tom Brady this year.
No, you didn't technically draft.
Oh yeah,
you picked up the team. You got what?
And I technically haven't even paid my seed in. I let my dear old good old son do that.
It's all good. It's all good. I covered you.
Anyway, so again, we would love to hear your feedbacks, your comments, and how, if you have anything to share on that, if you agree with, if you defend Robert Kraft for whatever reason, because you're a good old fan, and
if you draft Tom Brady next year, I feel like most people still would.
Yeah,
results.
I think this was their last year. That's just me,
yeah.
but I'm not a big sports fanatic. So let's say, for instance, you're a baseball fanatic. Let's say, for instance, the
Bryce
Giants.
Harper, please come to the Giants.
Okay.
It's God's will.
So say, for instance, the San Francisco Giants manager, what's his name?
Bruce Bochy.
He's
retiring. It's the end of an era.
Yeah, say for instance he got caught going to the local. Now I'm sure in the city in San Francisco there's a ton of massage parlors.
Hey, you never know. He might be going. He's probably just not big enough for anybody to care. It's like, oh, that was Bruce Bochy. Another day.
Okay.
Honestly, if a report came out about Bruce Bochy, I would not be surprised. The dude, they had the little franchise show of him, and he would just go to his office and drinking. He's one of a kind.
Okay, so moving on. Let's see. We have moving on. DC Comics.
Oh yeah.
This is a good one. DC Comics, according to Christian headlines, DC Comics has canceled a series about Jesus. They reported from newsarama.com. The plot summary was this: witness the return of Jesus Christ.
Wow, I love the change of voice there. Wow, I didn't see that coming. Wow, that's your comic book voice.
That's my comic book voice. Okay, so let's go back.
All right, there you go.
Rewind. The plot summary was this: witness the return of Jesus Christ as he is sent on a most holy mission by God to learn what it takes to be the true Messiah.
Yeah.
Messiah of mankind by becoming roommates with the world's favorite savior, the all-power superhero Sun Man, the lost son of Crispix. I have no idea what I just read.
Oh my goodness, that doesn't make any sense.
The plot summary for the first issue. That was it. Oh, and then it continues. So I'm about to put back on my comic book voice. But when Christ returns to earth, dun, he is about to discover what has become of his gospel. And now he aims to set the record straight.
Wow. Out of all stories you could do of Jesus being a superhero, the return of Jesus being a superhero, you choose for him to be a roommate. A roommate with a powerful superhero named Sun Man. Come on. Wow, have you seen the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode, Dayman?
No.
So they have a song. You know it's gonna be pretty stupid, but it's like, Dayman, oh, fighter of the night, man. Oh, champion of the sun. That's all I keep thinking about with Sun Man.
What is the last son of Crispix?
I don't know what that is.
Is it because because you get crispy?
Oh, no, let's stop that. You're gonna have comic book fans just ripping this up.
I don't know what the last son of Crispix is.
Crispix might be his dad. Sun Man's dad.
Well, obviously, because he said it's
Crisp
the
Man.
last son of who?
Crisp Man. I don't know.
Okay. I'm so sorry. I am not a comic book person.
Yeah, me neither.
So I'm not familiar with DC, but allegedly apparently, because we're looking up right now on Wikipedia, that there is under DC Comics franchise comics, there's
A Sun Boy.
a Sun Boy. So I guess Jesus would be the second coming, and he would be roommating with Sun Man, who I guess is no longer Sun Boy. He's a man now. I'm a man.
I'm a man. Yeah, this is rough. I like the idea that they wanted to make Jesus a superhero, but it's something that you kind of have to put a lot more thought into.
So the plot summary I read about when Christ returns to earth, he's shocked to discover what has become of his gospel. That was for the first issue. Apparently, the plot for the second issue was just as problematic. The second issue, the plot was, I'm putting on my comic.
Hang on, so they did 2 issues?
Yeah, it was supposed to be a series. The series was called Second Coming.
Did the first issue ever get released, or did they get?
No.
So they were trying to issue like both of them at the same time?
Yeah. So, the second, I don't know.
What you just say? Yeah.
So, the second issue reads, the plot for the second issue was an unexpected death.
You lean back and then go into the mic.
Because I had to put on my comic book voice. So the second series issue plot was an unexpected death leads to God showing off his heavenly kingdom to the son he wished he had, while the son he has catches up on the earthly plane. I have no idea what I just read.
That didn't make any sense. That's why I'm trying to find the quote that you're reading. I'm like, I have no idea.
This is what it says. An unexpected death leads to God showing off his heavenly kingdom to the son he wished he had, while the son he has catches up on the earthly plane.
Okay,
Is there another son?
Who's the son that he wished he had? So who is who? Is he saying Sun Man is one of his sons? I don't think so. That wouldn't make sense.
Well, he created the sun.
I get it. It does not seem like it's going down the right path.
So, the series writer Mark Russell, he confirmed that the cancellation, it was canceled. More than 220,000 people signed a petition urging DC to cancel it. The first issue was scheduled to be released fairly recent, on March 6th. So this just happened, and so in these
I would love to see
series were just written. And if you Google it, they actually have some illustrations of actual Sun Man and Jesus.
The second come. Is he Jesus? Does he return as Jesus, or is he like a different name?
Mark Russell, the series writer, wrote on Twitter, the DC Vertigo's cancellation of the orders for Second Coming. Just so you know, DC did not do anything untoward to me. I asked for the rights back and they gracefully agreed. They've been a pleasure to work with, and it will still be released with a different publisher. So there is possibility that
they share a 2-bedroom apartment. Jesus and Sunman was sharing a 2-bedroom apartment, and it says Sunman was definitely not Superman. I want to read this comic.
Well, have no fear. It is going to be released with a different publisher. Mark Russell asked for the rights back from DC, and DC gracefully agreed. So he said they were a pleasure to work with, and again, he plans to release it with a whole different publisher.
For Marvel? Is it DC that had a problem with it? Was that who was publishing it, or is it still going to be released underneath DC Vertigo?
No, I don't think it's going to be released under DC Vertigo. I think it's going to be released with someone else, with another company, publisher.
Wow. Yeah, someone wrote, I guess a petition about it was wrote. It said, would DC Comics publish similar content about other religious leaders such as Muhammad or Buddha? This content is inappropriate and blasphemous. It should be immediately pulled from your publishing schedule. Imagine Buddha as a superhero. Or Muhammad.
Well, I mean, what would be his powers? Happiness.
To meditate.
Happiness and meditation.
To reach enlightenment.
Right.
Sitting underneath the tree.
I don't know. So I would love to hear how you guys feel about that. Especially with the last comment, the last question. Would DC Comics publish similar content about religious leaders? Well, not about DC Comics published, because we already know they're not, because they canceled it. But is it okay for comic books, just in general, who the publisher is, whether it's DC or Marvel, whoever, is it okay for them to publish content with religious leaders? Is that appropriate or inappropriate? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I think it's just, I don't know how considerate you are when writing it, I guess. I don't know. It's a very thin line when you're writing about those topics.
I mean, there's so much to write about, and there's so many superheroes. I mean, don't get me wrong, God is my superhero all day long, and Jesus Christ is the hero. But there's other where it's not so much controversy behind it.
Yeah.
You know, that's just my opinion. But I would love to hear your opinion about that. If you're a DC Comics fan and you follow them, avidly, or is that the word? If you actively follow DC Comics and the superheroes in DC Comics, or even if you know of Mark Russell's writing, I'm sure he's written probably other comic strips or something. If you're a fan, like, do you support it? And if you don't support it, why? Why don't you support it? Why don't you feel it's appropriate?
Yeah, we'd love to hear you guys' opinions about it.
Yeah, that's
I definitely would like to read the comic though.
it actually has intrigued me.
It's intrigued you, yeah. The images really intrigued me.
It does. I would like to read it and have
Jesus
my comic book
on
voice.
The beanbag really intrigued me as one of the comic book pictures.
If you have a chance, please Google
the
second coming comic book, and you will see illustrations. Like, there is an actual illustration of Son Man and Jesus Christ, 2-bedroom apartment.
Yep.
And Jesus is on a beanbag on one of them, obviously tired from his actions of the day. So yeah.
Good luck with that.
So the next thing we're going to end with is, I did a sermon on spiritual debt snowball method. And just to give a little bit of financial background, a key term, the debt snowball method is a debt reduction strategy where one owes on multiple accounts and pays off the account starting with the smallest balance first, while at the same time paying the minimum payments on lower debts. So say, for instance, you have some credit cards, and you have a credit card that has a $1,000 balance on it. And then you also have a credit card that has $10,000 balance on it. What you do is you would start making larger payments to pay off your $1,000 balance while making just a minimum payment on your $10,000 one. And once the $1,000 one is paid off, you will then take the payments that you've been paying, the large sums of payments, to pay off that $10,000 one. So it's called Snowball because if you picture a snowball rolling down a hill at high speed, it starts off small, but then with each turn down a hill, it adds a layer of snow, growing larger and larger and gaining momentum. And by the time the snowball reaches the bottom of the hill, it looks more like a boulder than a ball. So this is the theory to apply to paying off debt with the snowball method. And we can use the same method spiritually by starting to pay our smaller spiritual debts with the same focus and intensity to gain momentum to then focus on the larger spiritual debts. And we also need to change our spiritual behavior. As explained in my previous sermon, spiritual debt is one of our spiritual liabilities. That's those negative key points that we need to try to begin to eliminate. And one of those smaller debts is worry, that you can slowly begin to tackle to help you gain momentum to focus on those bigger debts. Worry is like a Pandora's box. I like that word. I mean, I like that illustration of it because it generates many complicated problems. Worry is unfaithful. Remember, the nature of faith is simply a matter of trust. And if we worry, we can't trust. And if we trust, we can't worry, correct? So make a note of worry and faith, that they do not mix. You need to deduct the spiritual debt, which is worry, from your spiritual revenue, such as faith. Worry is a thief. It will rob us from our quality of life and our peace. Worry places our focus more on our problems rather than on God. It corrodes and corrupts the mind and removes our focus. It ultimately disconnects us and disengages us from God. And I read a statistics from the Bureau of Standards. A dense fog covering 7 city blocks to a depth of 100 feet calculates less than 1 glass of water. So technically, all the fog would not even fill up a glass. Our worries are the same to the dense fog. It clouds our mind. It consumes our thoughts. And in actuality, the actual size of our worry probably could fit in a single cup. The scripture says that the Lord will fight for you and you shall hold your peace. We need to have faith. And in my sermon, I refer to having the same faith as the woman that came to Jesus with the demon-possessed daughter. And she came to him and asked for his help to heal her daughter. And Jesus basically was telling her no, like he was brushing her off because his focus wasn't on her. His focus was on a particular group. And she was very persistent to the point where every time he told her no, she kept coming back and justifying why he should help her. And finally, he turned around and told her, "Woman." That's my Jesus voice.
Similar to the DC comic book voice.
"Woman, you have great faith." So we need to have faith like that. And I read a quote by E. Stanley Jones. It says, "Worry is the interest we pay on tomorrow's troubles." And that is so true. My fun spiritual fact, I always end with fun spiritual facts at the end of my sermons. And my fun spiritual fact for this week is the word pray, because that's our communication to God, correct? The word pray appears in the King James Version 313 times. That's a lot of times to emphasize a pray and prayer. I will say it again, the power of prayer is intense. It is very forceful, along with faith and believing. So that is my scripture.
Get rid of those spiritual
my
debts.
Sermon for today.
No need to worry.
So that is the debt snowball method. So you start on the small ones, and then you gradually go on to the bigger ones. But your focus is pretty much you let that worry go and you give it to God, because again, you have to trust that he will come through, and you have to believe that. Okay. So,
very good.
Yes. Would you like to end with anything here, my dear son?
Bryce Harper, come to the Giants. He's coming.
He's not coming to the Giants. It's already been said he's going to the Phillies.
It says they're Phillies and Bryce Harper are getting very close to reaching a deal, but it's not set in stone. The Giants might do.
The Giants is not doing that.
We'll see. We'll see next week.
Aren't they? Isn't the park being renamed?
Yeah, it's Oracle Park.
Is it Oracle Park?
Yeah, it's Oracle Park now. Yeah. See, the Warriors was winning at Oracle. Now we're about to start winning again.
So what is Oracle in Oakland?
It's Oracle Arena.
And then now it's gonna be Oracle Park. But what?
The AT&T Park got named Oracle Park. You can name multiple stadiums the same name, dude.
Okay.
I think Dallas Cowboys Stadium is called like AT&T Stadium or something like that.
Oh.
So,
okay.
They get sponsored different teams.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
All right.
Time for us to win.
They're not winning.
The Giants household.
We had this debate earlier this morning. That is yet to be.
We're a Giants household. We all love the Giants. In and out, yeah. Yes,
I don't know if we
yes,
all.
We do.
I don't. Okay, love is a very
we love
big
them.
statement.
We love them. We trust them.
Well, I don't know about trust. That's the.
We trust Bruce, don't you?
Well, I don't know. I don't know about that. So, if you, we would love to hear your comments and your feedbacks on any points from today's show. Please visit our website at www.spiritual-tea.net. We'll be sure to share it on our next episode. Yeah?
Yep. Sounds good.
Well, that's all for today's episode of Spiritual Tea Podcast. Thanks for joining us over a cup of tea.
Woo.
Thank you to my son and co-host Jamie.
Applause track.
Bam. Be sure to follow and subscribe to our show to hear weekly episodes and previous episodes. I invite you to join us next week for more Spiritual Tea.
Yep.
And if you haven't already, please be sure to visit our website. You can find more episodes, our short show notes, Spiritual Tea swagware, as well as any special links or websites that we spoke about today. We hope that you receive abundant blessings this week. This is your week. We look forward to next week. Many blessings.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, I just touched the mic.
Mic check 2 1 2 2 2 2.
All right. Do you want to?
Do you want to what?
Do you need to take a break?
No, I'm cool. Are you good?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. I was getting a little bit of sniffles.
Ew, are you getting sick?
No, just
What is this, episode 3, right?
Maybe the fireball going for all my see us still.
No, it's cold out here.
Yeah. Turned off the heater.
Oh, I just touched your voice. Not my thing. Somebody's size knows that one.
Check 1. All right, that was good. Very good.
Are you ready? Okay, we should stop it.
Brum, brum, brum.